Hello everyone, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And I was going to say the 10 reading. Well, I guess I kind of predicted this one. This is an ending. Okay? This is something that does not need to be resurrected in your life. Something is gone, needs to stay gone. Okay? But I feel like you're someone who is, you're maybe leaving a toxic relationship, you're quitting a bad job, kind of feeling like, can't really do this anymore. You know, you're the kind of person that isn't going to stay somewhere they're not meant to be. You're somebody that will get out of the birdcage rather than just staying there and suffering. Okay? This is a final kind of ending. This is a release from something. And you may feel just done, mentally, emotionally, or, you know, with this situation, I'm not going to keep showing up here. Right? So you may be quitting, you may be walking away, filing papers. Okay? This is something that's become unbearable and it's gone. Out of here. Okay? And so I think that this is your recognition that things cannot go back to how they were. You are not somebody that's going to relive the past, that's for sure. All right? Let's put this into a little bit of context. Let's see maybe what this was all about, where you're going from here, right? You're celebrating the end. You are celebrating that end. 6 of Pentacles. The Prince of Swords. We have the Star card. Okay, so we have 2 Aquarius cards here. There's something special about Aquarius right now. We have a 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the Hermit mode. You're definitely walking away from something, and you know what? I feel like that's kind of like the biggest win of your life here, is getting out of whatever that situation is. Whatever that was, you're not going back to it. Okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it right over here with our little octopus friend, the 8 of Tentacles right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments right below the video now. As we look around the room, we see 2 major arcana cards. We see the Star and the Hermit. Could be that the Star is guiding you to Hermit mode right now, guiding you to some introspection, guiding you to your fortress of solitude. Whatever the ending is, it's the biggest win of your life. And it's on its way. Okay? Something that has been terrible is over. I think that is the absolute blessing. So we've got fire. We got the water finally right there. You know, the only water we have is right there. We've got the air. And we've got some earth cards. So the 10 of Swords, yeah, this is one of the best cards because it means we're getting out of the birdcage. You're at your wit's end about something. And thankfully, that toxic relationship, that bad job, that bad experience is done. Because this is that card that says, I can't do it anymore. Okay? You don't have to. This is going to be the breakup. This is going to be you getting out of that job. This is going to be you kind of having that last straw moment and saying, I'm done. Okay? Completely done. and you may quit. You may walk away. You may block somebody. Like I said, you may file the papers, okay? This cycle of suffering is over. So this is the moment where you realize that things are not going to go back to how they were. From here, you get to rebuild with clearer vision, for one thing, and different choices. So right now, this is all about letting that old story end. Let this be the last time. Please don't resurrect what clearly needs to stay dead. Okay? This is very important. And you're not somebody that will. I think you're happy that this is finally over, right? We got this Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is abundance. Okay? This is best friend energy. Okay? This is a party. This is this is a celebration. Okay? This is you now spending time with people that really get you, that really love you, that are going to celebrate with you, that are happy for you. Okay? There's a sense of being welcomed and supported and celebrated by your people. This may even be new friendships or new allies. Okay? In this kind of an ending, you want to make sure that you lean on your people. Okay? Lean on those genuine connections. Yeah. You're not doing this alone. I feel like this is a good thing. This is a happy moment. And the heart is going to heal faster now in good company than in isolation. So say yes to that, to the healthy company. Okay? Share in this experience. Now, it's not a happy experience necessarily, but it's like something that needs to be, there's almost a relief to it, you know? Feels like this is something that needs to end, it needs to stay gone. And by spending time with your quality people, your inner circle, you're going to process this very quickly. You're going to get over this very, very quickly, and you're going to realize that it is a blessing. You are going to be so happy to be rid of this thing. And I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know how Aquarius is tied into it, but somehow there's an Aquarius energy that's quite prominent. You're going to be so happy that it's over. Okay? So happy it's through. Yeah. Little acronym for you. We have a Six of Pentacles underneath the surface too. I think you're someone that knows how to make things work. Like you're a team player, you know. You are like, you know, you could be part of a group. It's not like you don't know how to cooperate. You know what I mean? You know how to reciprocate. You know how to play fairly. Okay? I wonder if this is a situation where you felt like your effort wasn't being recognized. Okay? Kind of getting this vibe of like your employer or like the place where you work, or like there's just not, you're not getting the compensation that you deserve or something like this, or like you put in your half of the deal, right? But it wasn't being met. Okay? There was some kind of an imbalance or an unfair response or an unfair kind of, there's some disharmony here. Okay? It may be a situation where you felt like you were putting in your effort, your resources, time, effort, energy, money, that you were sharing resources or you were giving support, okay? But you weren't getting it back when you needed it, okay? So I feel like something wasn't either recognized or reciprocated, even though you're a very, very generous person, okay? That you're somebody who, like, you work well with others. You treat each other person with kindness and respect and support, and this very cooperative thing. But I feel like somebody didn't do that for you, right? I'm feeling something about a boss, or like maybe like some payment for something. It could be that you have been in a almost a contract. I don't know. There's no implication really of a legal thing here, but I feel like you were in some kind of a situation where it was like it was business or something like that, and you weren't being given what you deserved or paid what you deserved, or like somebody was withholding payment. You know what I mean? There was bad business, some kind of bad business there, right? The Prince of Swords back here. Prince of Swords is someone who likes to debate, right? I feel like maybe there was a negotiation, there was some kind of a planning, or an exchange of ideas where you kind of like reached an agreement. Okay, we made a schedule. We sort of had an outline of we planned the way things were supposed to go, and somebody didn't fulfill their end of the bargain. You know, it could be somebody agreed, okay, I'll pay you $100 for that piece of art or for your work or your effort, and then they didn't. Like somebody skipped out on the bill or something. You know, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Because this is, to me, feels like there was an agreement there, but this may have been somebody that was like, I don't know, like that they found a loophole or something like that. I mean, it's very strange energy here, and I don't know if this has anything to do with. I don't know, I'm almost feeling a content creation kind of thing. I don't know if it was somebody, like you hired somebody or you were working for somebody and there was supposed to be an exchange of goods and services for like a payment, but somebody didn't pay or somebody didn't deliver. And I don't know if maybe you're the one that's not paying because they didn't deliver or something along those lines. Okay? Something along those lines. And I feel like we're just kind of happy to be done. And I think the goal here is just to get it done and over, to be through with it. So happy it's through. Okay. Star card, that Aquarius energy at the top here. To me, this feels like a revelation. It feels like we're very happy now to see things for how they truly are, rather than how we wanted them to be. Yeah. Clarity is sometimes a painful gift, you know. I think you're somebody who is very creative. I feel like you, maybe you're a musician, maybe this has some, I do feel like content creation or some kind of an artistic, I don't know if somebody hired you to make something and then they didn't want to pay you for it, or maybe it's the other way around, okay? But you're a very creative type of person, okay? Feeling kind of a musician energy here for you. But there's creative inspiration, okay? And I think there's also clarity. So I think that, you know, this card can show up when we finally see things at the right time. We finally see the way things are rather than how we want them to be. And I think that there has been the kind of chaos in this situation, and now there's a kind of a moment of peace. There's a breath of fresh air kind of entering here now. Okay, and this is a kind of an honest assessment of things. We're kind of like, we're seeing the blessing in disguise. We're seeing this for what it is, and it's allowing us to see that there's a better future. There's something better out there for us. We're not stuck in the old story, you know. We're able to see perhaps, you know, with the Seven of Pentacles, we're able to see this as just being, it's just the bad news. This is like a bad write-off. This is like, it didn't work, and let's write it off. Let's move on, not move in. Very interesting energy here. A couple of slips of the tongue here and some strange vibes. And so maybe it is something about, rather than being a business transaction, maybe this is a little bit more personal. Because it could be that, you had an agreement to move in with somebody, right? To live with somebody or to build something with somebody. And they were not who you thought they were. Yeah, that much I know. All right. This is some stalled progress at the best. At best, this is something that hasn't worked yet. But I feel like as you look forward into the future, you kind of think that, like, the most that I could hope for is that that I'd get a little bit out of this, and wondering, is a little bit better than nothing. Because I feel like that Ten of Swords is just saying, you know what, forget the whole thing. I'm done. I'm out. Goodbye. If this is the best that it was going to be, this is not very good. This is very low return. This is flat, right? This is not growth. This is effort that did not pay off. This is the wrong investment, kind of thing. And so I kind of feel like that Ten of Swords is cutting your losses now, because you're realizing that, okay, the best I can do, the best this thing can become, is still me losing money. So I might as well just get out of it now, if the best it's going to be will still be a negative to me. Does that make sense? So we need that honest review. If it's not working, we can cut it off immediately. You don't have to stay. Staying would be kind of like, throwing more at this, and it's kind of like throwing good money after bad. That's the phrase I've been looking for. Throwing good money after bad. So we're not going to do that. Okay? And sometimes cutting our losses now is actually going to be a net benefit. It's going to end up being a net positive for us if we cut our losses now. Because I don't think this is just stalled progress. I think that somebody perhaps overpromised, or somebody kind of told you what you wanted to hear rather than telling you the truth. Somebody was pretending to be truthful, but they were not. Okay. And again, I'm getting that kind of artistic, creative kind of vibe for you. Yeah. And so I don't know if this is something about a job or a career or employment, or if it's something about a living situation or about an apartment. I'm getting those kind of vibes. Okay. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Let's talk about the path of the serpent, the Two of Pentacles. You may be a kind of freelancer. You may be really like working with some side hustles. You may be doing a lot of different things, like the freelancer kind of vibe, where it's just like it's not one steady gig. It's like you're juggling a lot of different sources of income. And whatever's ending now may ultimately be saving you money in the long term, because by just getting rid of this, you're able to put much more time into other things that need you. Okay? But right now you may need to tweak your budget. You may need to rearrange some things, in order to kind of stay afloat. You may need to shift some things around. I feel like you're handling a lot now, money and time and responsibilities and scheduling and all this stuff. And yeah, maybe this is about the home or the workplace, where somebody was supposed to do something. Somebody promised a particular deliverable that they did not deliver. Okay? But I think being done with it, cutting it off cleanly right now is actually going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money, ultimately. Okay? And I think you're somebody that can handle change. You're somebody that tends to land on their feet. Yeah. So the Ace of Wands here in the position of the environment and the position of the relationship, I feel like there's some anger there. I feel like there is there's kind of a desire, an impulse to demand an explanation or to get some kind of resolution. But sometimes you're not going to get that. Okay, I think what this card does, it likes to show up when you're rearranging your schedule to make room for something new. Yeah. So this could be you starting the new side hustle, starting the new project, the new channel, the new creative thing, doing this now because this one didn't work. So instead of lingering on this and trying to resurrect this or trying to force this to be what it promised, by letting it go and being kind of happy that it's gone and seeing the blessing in disguise, we're making room now. It's almost like it's like the trash took itself out. Okay? Because then this is allowing you, this is you making room for that new thing to enter. Okay? And so I think this is a good thing. And it may be a good time now for you to start the new thing, if it's the project or the new creative endeavor. Start the new path. Get inspired to start the new thing rather than trying to force the old thing into play. The Six of Wands is victory, right? And again, I'm feeling a very creative energy coming from you. So it's some maybe performance, it may be some kind of music or something like that. But maybe you may be an influencer or something like that. But I feel like you're going to be successful. This is a win. The difficulty is for you to see how this was a win because it feels like a loss. Trust me, it's a win. Okay? Trust me, if you would have forced this to stay in play, you would have ended up losing a lot more than what you think you lost now. You lost something that you didn't even need anyway. Something that ultimately you really didn't want. Okay? This is the goal. Okay, this is the victory. This is the win. I feel like you're going to recognize this before too long, and you're going to see that this is definite success. But right now we're feeling that hermit mode. We're kind of feeling this reluctance to enter into any new partnerships of whatever nature this one was. Okay? Taking time off of social media, taking breaks from getting involved with things, right? Doing things by, maybe this is like, okay, you know what? I don't need a business partner. I don't need a roommate. I don't need to work for this company. I'm okay being the freelancer. I'm okay doing my side hustles. This was not worth it at all. So this is you kind of going your own way and really taking some time to sort of process all of this situation. I feel like you're becoming wiser. You know, you're older and wiser, right? And kind of a new version of yourself is forming because of this situation. It was a learning experience. It was for sure a learning experience. But just know that it's not worth going back to this. Whether this was romantic, I feel like it's not romantic. I feel like it's business or it has to do with your living situation. It's a blessing in disguise. Be very happy that that thing is gone. Okay? But don't let it diminish your confidence. Because you didn't do anything wrong. It's not your fault that it didn't work. You did you did your half of the deal. They didn't do their half. Okay? It was through no fault of your own. It was through their own failures, their own, whatever their issues are, their insincerity, their own issues. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. I want to see the 6 of Pentacles, a 9, a 10 of Pentacles, or Wheel of Fortune would be good. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. The Hermit. The Hermit and the Hermit. There's a Virgo theme here, isn't there? Yeah, there is. But this is solitude. This is the inner guidance. This is the withdrawal. This is you kind of saying, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm leaving, I'm not even going to bother asking questions, I don't need closure, I don't need an explanation, I don't need an answer, I'm just done. Okay? Putting some distance between you and that situation. Give it some time. Okay? So I feel that this is that introspection, this is that quiet reflection that allows us to see the wisdom in this event so that we know, okay, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. This wasn't meant for me. I'm happy. I'm going to celebrate that it's gone out of my life and I don't have to deal with it anymore. Because that's the real win, that you don't have to deal with that anymore. Whatever it was not worth your effort, okay? But we don't want to lament that, okay? It's kind of like you did a bunch of work for somebody or something like that and they didn't pay you for it. Like you painted somebody's house and they just said, I'm not going to pay you, okay? Whatever the case is, in this situation, it feels like you're walking away rather than trying to argue and fight and demand and waste more time on that. It's kind of like you're just cutting your losses and you're saying, okay, you know what? Good riddance. Didn't want their business anyway, you know? Sometimes that's the best, sometimes that's the best route. But now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we are all in this together.